everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say less.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. Good morning and welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz, and along with me is the man with the tries, the man with the buys, the one with the broad chest, the fresh fade, the one and only, John Borba. What up, Johnny?
What's going on?
How's it going, brother?
Good.
We feel a little more energetic, right? That means football is right around the corner. We're getting around. We're flipping the chapter today. We're closing the chapter on week 3 and opening the chapter to week 4 in the NFL world. There's a bunch of good games that we're gonna have this weekend, starting with that Thursday night football game. JB, what do we got? We got the Cardinals going over to Seattle. Seattle looking pretty good with somebody that played for your team, right? Minnesota Vikings, yeah. Sam Darnold, where his career was resurged. There could have been a little bit of sadness going into this week for you talking about Sam Darnold, but it is looking a little positive as you guys head over to Ireland to go
across the pond, baby.
Go play a game for the Leprechauns out there. So shout out to Ireland. What JB? Let's just kick it off with that Cardinals Seattle Seahawks game. What's your thoughts out there?
I think it's going to be a close game. Every game in the NFC West is pretty close. Those teams all play each other pretty good. So it's actually a good Thursday night matchup. You know, we don't get those too often, but this week it's looking good. Cardinals, a lot of questions about Kyler, a lot of questions about Marvin Harrison. After his performance last week, obviously we saw that interview yesterday. Dude's down in the dumps. Hopefully he can turn that around a little bit, but I expect Sam Darnold in this offense, Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I expect these guys to put in some work this week, and they're going up against a formidable secondary in Arizona Cardinals. I mean, Will Johnson, Budda Baker back there. They're definitely no scrubs. There's definitely some talent back there on the backside of the defense. So that makes for some interesting matchups. What I'm looking for is obviously the game on the outside the numbers right there with Will Johnson on Jackson Smith and Jigba, the rookie out of Michigan, taking on JSN. So we'll see how that matchup plays out. It's going to be a good matchup. And JSN, man, I wish I would have picked him up in fantasy, man. He's having a solid start to the year. Good wide receiver, man, and I've been high on him since coming out of the draft because I thought that's who the Vikings were going to get a couple years back. So, yeah.
What a dog. Yep.
Yeah.
The Seahawks open as 1.5-point favorites with the over-under being at 43.5 points. Kenneth Walker coming into week 4 with 3 touchdowns, 39 carries, 163 yards. That might not scream at the stat sheet, but Kenneth Walker is a dog, and I would say this Seahawks team seems to have somewhat found their identity. These guys are dogs. I have a friend out there in Seattle. He says the city's buzzing. The city's buzzing for Seattle. I know at the beginning of the year you said you were looking forward to see what would come out of Seattle with Sam Darnold. I think I don't want to say we're all surprised, but I mean, I would definitely say we're surprised, especially with the way Sam Darnold's playing. I kind of expected him to have a step down somewhat from the season he had with you guys, but
still early.
Yeah, it seems like OC gave him or KC gave him the confidence he needed to go out there and ball out. So shout out to Sam Darnold. I mean, there's a lot of people saying he was dead at one point. I mean, we didn't expect him to see him in the league at all. Somehow he made it. JB, during the show today, we will have Tim Foley joining us here in about 20 minutes to talk UNM versus New Mexico State, the I-25 rivalry game. He played in it, so we're gonna find out what he remembers from it. Has he been back there to experience it as a fan, or did he already experience it as a fan before he even got to play out there? I got to watch a couple of his highlight videos. Bro, Tim was a dog. Tim was a dog. I remember playing with him. I do have a fond memory of with Tim. We played with each other in middle school in 8th grade, and Tim, I mean, if you remember back in the day, or probably even still now, right? You have like that one athlete that's just far ahead of everybody else. That was kind of Tim in middle school. He was our quarterback. It was pretty much RPO. You said hut, and Buddy just took off, right? We threw the ball maybe once or twice. I was on the receiving end of a couple of those, but I remember championship game. I think we're down like 12-6 or something like that in the fourth quarter. Mind you, we don't throw the ball ever. I probably had 2 catches that entire season. We probably threw the ball 5 times that entire season. I'm like when I say RPO, it was really just hut Tim take off running. Uh, championship game, we run a little play action. Tim actually doesn't take off this time. I'm on a fly route, but I slow down because I don't think he's gonna throw it. I get behind my cornerback, but I'm jogging at this point. Next thing I know is Tim comes out of the scramble and just launches it. So I'm in a dead sprint. Bro, lost flash before my eyes. I see the ball and I'm not gonna get there. So I solid, beautiful dive. I mean, if you could have gotten a picture, it would have been beautiful if I caught it. Hits my fingertips, drop it. We end up losing. We did have one more possession after that. So technically, we should have scored that next possession, but we didn't. So you could kind of say that was on me. I highly doubt Tim remembers that, but it is kind of funny because I do remember dropping that pass. Um, sad day. Sad day. Uh,
Sounds sad.
yeah, it does. It does. You played a little bit back in the day there at Gateway. What was your experience like at a private school?
It was fun. It was like 8 man. So with 8 man, um, the games are a little bit more. I don't know.
Up
I guess high
tempo.
scoring in a sense. I mean, there's a little bit more open field and stuff like that. But essentially, it's almost the kind of the same thing. Same rules for the most part, but it was fun. Like I enjoyed it. If I could do it again, I'd probably do it again. I'd definitely go back and do it again. So
Yeah,
yeah,
7 man seems so fun because it just feels like it's all athletes out there. Like,
you got like 3 linemen. You got 3 linemen. And you can put the tight end right there. So four. You can have 4 guys on the line. You still had I form. You still had shotgun. You still have like your basic formation.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Twins left, whatever it might be. So
Leighton Vander Esch, former Cowboy, came from a 8 man
yeah.
football,
So did
small school. Not sure exactly what
Chad
school, but
Greenway, uh, linebacker from the Vikings. He's retired now, but one of the best linebackers during his time. He was from 8 man. So there's like a couple high school dudes that came out of 8 man. So it's pretty cool.
yeah, I would assume, like I said, super athletic. If you're like the
Yeah.
fastest dude out there, it's kind of over. JB, the Giants finally did what we asked.
Yep.
Um, based
We
off
did.
the
We did it.
comments,
They heard us.
yeah, they did. It's because of us, right?
Yeah, it's
Are
because
we
of
gonna
us.
take the credit
Preaching
for
it
that?
since week 1.
Yep. So Giants breaking yesterday. Giants are Brian Dable came out and said we are going to start rookie quarterback Jackson Dart. We have a couple clips out there where we were asking for this to happen. Um, it finally happened, JB. But based off the comments on that video that we did post about him starting, not a lot of people are excited about it. I mean, they're excited that they're able to turn that page, but they do say that nothing's going to save the quarterback because that O line is terrible, terrible O line. I mean, if you go outside of that Cowboys game, Russell Wilson was running for his life. So, what are your expectations from that swaggy boy, chain hanging,
Well,
swag surfing, Jackson
so
Dart?
first of all, I kind of want to point out that stat with Russ. I mean, he went 160 week 1. Week 3, he went 162. But week 2 against the Cowboys, put up 450 yards. Like that's crazy.
Don't be
But I was
disrespectful.
looking at the stat. I didn't know he put up 450. But man, I mean, he went off, man. That was prime Russ against Dallas. But anyways, I expect
Yeah,
he's gonna be flustered for sure, 100%. When you got an O line and obviously Andrew Thomas, he's been unhealthy, and that's like their All Pro left tackle. I think he came in the game last week and they pulled him or something. I don't know. I just know he's still hurt. I just know he's still hurt. Maybe that was somebody else. I'm talking about my own team, but um, because that's exactly what happened. But uh, yeah, Andrew Thomas, left tackle, all pro guy. When you don't have an all pro back there, I know it firsthand experience watching my team. Um, it's rough out there. So you expect, obviously, you're going to expect some jitterness, looking a little bit anxious to get rid of the ball in certain areas. If he can
yeah,
be relaxed and kind of let the game, the thing is it's the game speed for all these guys coming out of college.
yeah.
The speed of the game is so much faster, so you got to slow it down, and you can only do that with experience. So I just hope they don't ruin his career like how they've tried to ruin Daniel Jones, how they try to hold Saquon back and all this stuff. So that's the thing in New York, like that you don't want to happen. So we'll see how it plays out, but he's gonna be anxious. He's gonna maybe make a couple bad reads, but he's got his feet. His feet can help bail out in some tough situations. So we'll see how that works. But he can throw the ball. He can sling the ball. So hopefully Malik
It just,
Neighbors, his fantasy season isn't over yet.
yeah, and I don't want to defend the organization, but it's not like they're purposely trying to ruin these guys. You know, they're
Yeah.
they're giving them the opportunity. You got to look at this as an opportunity. They're giving this gentleman an opportunity to grow this team, to build off his back. Um, Now, did they have they made the correct decisions, or have they made the right gambling decisions? I mean, you got to think about it. Whenever they take a risk on drafting some of these guys or making moves, it's obviously a risk. Like trading Saquon, like that. I mean, that part will never make sense considering that he was their best player. But I mean, you see, Dallas just did it, right? Dallas just traded what you thought is what a lot of people would say Micah Parsons was the Dallas Cowboys' best player, but it all comes down to how well you draft. Like at the end of the day, if Dallas turns around and turns those two picks into small pros, like we're gonna look back at that trade and say, "Wow, what an amazing trade!" Right? But then you look at situations like Seattle with the Denver Broncos, and you're like, "Wow, worst trade ever in the league." But then now you look at Denver and look at their upside. Look, they moved on from Russ and they've somehow turned it into a positive. So I think at that point, that's whenever you point the finger at the organization. Maybe it's the GM. Maybe it's time for him to go. I think his name's like Jim Mara or John Mara or something like that. I remember that. I remember the clip from what was it, Hard Knocks? Whenever it's the GM and the owner talking, the owner's like, it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna have a hard time sleeping if Saquon's not a part of this team. And then you turn around and Saquon goes and wins a Super Bowl. So you would assume that the owner's still having nightmares
No, for
from
sure.
that situation. But yeah, tough world. Jackson Dart is going against the 3-0 LA Chargers. Justin Herbert's playing out of his mind. Najee Harris just this past weekend, he got hurt at practice, tore his
No
ACL,
longer
so
in the
he's going to
game.
be out. I don't know that he was going to be effective anyways, but that is injury report coming out of that game. That defense, though, man, over there with Harbaugh, they've been buzzing, bro. They've been buzzing. What's your thoughts on that game? I mean, with the like is let's say this, right? There's no perfect time. I don't think there was a perfect time to start them. Like the longer you wait, you're just going to continue to get those same questions.
Right.
I feel like Dable finally just got tired of hearing the same shit week after week after week. But he is the one that kind of opened the door as to that this was going to be a competition between Jackson Dart and Russell Wilson. It seemed like he could have closed that door from the start of the week or from the start of the season. But yeah, what are your expectations, Jackson Dart against the Chargers?
Well, I think definitely against the Chargers right now, the Chargers are playing pretty solid defense. So it's gonna be a tough matchup. I mean, yeah, I just hope it's a respectable game out of them. I mean, we saw what JJ McCarthy did in his first start. Jackson Dart. I mean, we've seen what Cam Ward, the number one overall pick, he's had his ups and downs for sure. So this game should be pretty well in the hands of the Chargers. Like they should just run away with this one, honestly.
Yeah,
But
yep.
you do want to see some progress with Jackson Dart. You want to see some good throws. You want to see some calmness in the pocket. You want to see some reads being made, read the field, read the defense, adjust the protection a little bit. That's really hard for like a young quarterback to do, though, to read the blitz and kind of adjust the protection to set him up well during the play and stuff. So all these stuff, there's going to be a lot of times during the game you're just like, what the heck, what's going on? It's going
Just
to be
got
a
to
little
get through
rough
it.
for the Giants at first. I wouldn't expect anything other than that, but you want to see some positives. Can he read the field, make a couple adjustments, make some good throws, take some hits while he's making a throw, extend plays, use his feet. So there's some things that you want to take away from this. But the Chargers they should run away with it. I mean, they got to at least be
Yeah.
14-point favorites,
If,
at
if
least.
if you're a Giants fan, you're just looking for some type of fight from the offense, and it seems like they got a dog over there in Cam Scatterboo.
Yeah.
The guy's a walking semi. The guy's a truck. But JB, before we get off of this, I just thought I found this so funny. So when Adam Schefter reported this yesterday, he tweeted, his tweet says Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards against Dallas, and now days later, he's expected to be the number 2 quarterback behind Jackson Dart, and then has the picture of Jackson Dart being the starter. I just think it's so funny when I read some of these tweets sometimes from these reporters or analysts, like how they just kind of throw like a slight jab or like a little rage bait comment, like
Oh, for
to
sure.
make it seem like if Russ was just out there killing it and they're making this crazy decision to start Jackson Dart. I just think it's funny. It's funny because it's Adam Schefter, and he's one of those guys that says he doesn't like to stir the tea, but
Definitely stirring it
no
right there.
comment like that. I just find
Yeah,
that shit. I find that shit kind of funny.
definitely stirring it.
Hey JB, this is way off of football, but this was on my timeline yesterday, and I don't know how much you actually follow this, but Jake Paul is gonna fight Gervonta Davis on Netflix
Oh, yeah.
November 14th, if I remember correctly. Their co-main event is two ladies who look like they're scrappers. That's gonna be fun. I don't know their names. I think one's Alicia Baumdar or something like that. I'm not sure what the other girl's name is, but she looks like some Irish chick. But bro, I saw that press conference yesterday. I don't. I I would I would advise you to go watch it from a comic comedic perspective, bro. It's just so funny. And then when they face off, like it looks crazy. It looks like, let's just say Malcolm Wiggins, our friend. Shout out him. He's out there at Richland. Go check him out. But he. It's like if Malcolm, if you were to add like 20 pounds on Malcolm and then him and you squaring up, like it looks so funny, bro, because it looks like Jake could just grab him and like
Yeah,
cuddle him in his
it's just
arms.
not. I don't know. I don't know the point of this anymore. It's obviously it's to get a quick dollar.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, it's just one of those things where it's a gimmick in the sense. I mean, obviously we know that Tank Davis is going to win this.
Oh, yeah, you think so? You think so? That's
Yeah,
funny. No, I mean,
yeah. I
I would
mean,
assume. I
there's
would
no way this guy
assume.
loses, right? This dude's like in his
I mean,
prime.
yeah, but bro is 200 pounds. He like walks around like 220, bro. They're fighting at 190 at that, and Javonte's a 135er. A 135er fighting a 200-pound man. I mean, it's
He's
like
putting on
five
that
four.
frame.
I think Jake's like 6 foot, 5'4" against 6 foot, almost a 70-pound weight difference. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what makes it intriguing, right? Is like Jake is so big that that's his only chance is like if he lands a shot. But hey, man, yesterday, I mean, like when they faced off. So when I watched the interview, gosh, bro, this is how they get us. This is how they get you. It's Jake is the greatest marketer of all time. Like, regardless of what happens, Jake wins. like the dude got a fight on Netflix, and now he's fighting a world champion, regardless of what weight class you put him in. He's fighting a world champion, and ultimately, like he keeps getting called like this YouTube kid or whatever, right? Which he is. He is. But he's an athlete. He's an athlete. I don't know if he goes D1 in anything, but most of the guys that are fighters don't know if they go D1 in like a major sport in general, anyways, right? So this dude's an athlete who just found the gimmick to use his talents to be able to beat up smaller people. And he's going to end up setting himself up with the fight against like a Canelo. And if he fights Canelo, this is where I always tell like Mal and them is like, if he ends up fighting Canelo, he wins. Like regardless if he wins or loses, he wins. Like that's the ultimate goal as a YouTuber. Is like his climax is to fight a world champion. If he wins, he becomes a world champion, which is even more nuts, right? But if he loses and he gets knocked out, or even if he goes the distance, it's like, dude, I as a YouTuber, I'm the most viewed. I took over the boxing world. I took over the internet, and I took over every major media outlet in the world. I mean, the guy is like on Fox News, CNN, ESPN. Like he's everywhere. He wins. Like these guys, they don't care if they get knocked out, bro. They got the cojones. They know what it feels like. I mean, there's a
I
video
wouldn't
of
mind getting
Jake
knocked
Paul.
out for a $12 million bag.
Yeah, I mean, and they would get knocked out for fun, for a video, for a stream. I mean, his brother, Logan Paul, he purposely got dropped by a UFC fighter just to feel what it was like. Like, these guys, like, they're streamers, bro. That's what they do. Like they're in the business of entertainment, and I don't know how much more clear Jake can be, which is kind of funny because he still gets all the criticism. But it's all rage bait. It's all rage bait. We all lose our shit. So I have tons of respect. I think it's genius. He's just taking advantage of the society that we're in right now. It's actually I find it hilarious. And if you just look at it from a comedic standpoint, it's pretty funny. It's so funny. And then just watching them square off. Hilarious, bro. You can't make that shit up. That's crazy. That's 2025 for you though, right? That's
Yep.
2025 for you. It can get Oh man, that shit is so funny. JB, what is the game that you're looking forward to this weekend besides that? Oh man, 7:30 start, huh? From Ireland. The
I'm okay with
Vikings
that.
versus Steelers. You got to assume that's going to be a Steelers home game out there in Ireland from
I think it
at least
is.
from what Pat McAfee and his show says, is seems like there's a huge Steeler fan base because I guess a lot of people from Pittsburgh already or Pennsylvania. There's a lot of mobsters, a lot of I guess that's Italian, huh?
I have no clue. I don't know. Vikings. There's a lot of Vikings fans over there too. So across the pond. So I mean, they were like the Vikings were like one of the first teams to play across the pond, and like they've gotten a pretty good
You
following
guys got
too.
two
So,
games,
huh?
two games out there, right?
Yeah, we got one in Dublin, and then we got um next week we're playing the Cleveland in London. So we're back to back. We're staying across seas back to back weeks, which is kind of crazy.
Hell
That
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but I don't know how I feel about that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's cool. Like
Are
whatever.
you open? Are you open to a fantasy question, real quick?
What's going on?
What do we think about trading Judy and DJ Moore for Brian Thomas Jr.?
As of right now, Brian Thomas Jr. has been a disappointment. Trevor Lawrence can't connect with Brian Thomas Jr. There's like a completion, like when it comes to Trevor Lawrence and his stats completing the ball to any other target, it's like way higher. I don't know the exact number, like just a regular completion stat, which is like probably above 60%. But when he throws to Brian Thomas Jr., it's literally like under 20%. I don't know why they have a hard time connecting right now. And honestly, last year, Brian Thomas broke out because Mac Jones was just throwing him the ball over and over. So he's one of those guys that went pretty high in everyone's drafts this year. I would kind of stay away from Brian Thomas right now. Like a lot
Right
of people are
now.
trying to get off of him. So a lot of people are trying to trade
That's
him
why
and
that
everything like
trade
that.
was offered.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying
Ooh,
to get
his
off him.
buddy,
I think you got to
his
offer
buddy.
Brian. Yeah, you got to offer Brian Thomas and another player to get something in return. I think it's a
Chris, your
two-player
boy is
trade.
trying to finesse you. That's what it sounds like. Your boy is trying to finesse you. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm right now. Williams with the Cowboys running back.
Yeah,
I'm sending out. I'm sending out a couple trades, a couple baits. I see our offense slowly, kind of slowing down with the runs at least. But
I'll take Williams.
all right, who another one? Oh, hey, Brees Hall. I saw on the trading block. What do you think about that? They're talking about maybe Brees Hall going over to what was it? Wait, I saw Russell Wilson maybe going to Cincinnati. What do you think about that fit?
I don't know about that. I mean, what's he gonna do at this point? Throw the deep ball. I mean, that's. I think you stick with Jake Browning. He had one game where wasn't very productive, but honestly, the defense took over in that. The Vikings defense took over in that game. I don't think you get off of Jake Browning that quick after just one game. So you got to kind of let it ride out. If they can win this next game, then anything's possible. I think they'll ride out with Jake Browning. But if they get blown out again or something, they just generate no offense. Okay, then maybe you're trading for Russ. You're trading for a veteran quarterback. You're seeing what's out in the market. Maybe Jameis. I mean, you got two guys. I mean, obviously, probably. Never mind. I retract that because Jameis is probably the number two now. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
so you have some availability to get rid of Russ, but I mean, you're not going to get nothing back for him at this point. So I don't know. That's interesting. I think you write out Jake Browning for sure.
Well, JB, we're down the street from Albuquerque, and we're slightly down the street from Las Cruces. Actually, I said that backwards. We're down the street from Las Cruces, and we're slightly down the street from Albuquerque. We're talking about the I-25, the Battle of the I-25, the highway that connects the two schools in New Mexico State and UNM. And to educate us on what this rivalry is, the former UNM alum, we have with us Mr. Tim Foley. What's up? Here we go.
Everyone's
Hey, what's the chant? What's the chant out there in at UNM?
everyone's a Lobo. Woof woof woof.
Everyone's a low. Everyone's a Lobo. Woof woof woof. Just like that, or am
Yep,
I corny right now?
just like that.
Borba, do it with me real quick. Everyone's a Lobo. Woof
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 woof.
woof.
Everyone's a Lobo. Woof woof woof. Yo, shout out UNM. It's gonna be fun, Tim. I do let me before we start with what's going on with that UNM game. I did pull up some fun little stuff about this game. Uh, let's see what we got here. Let me ask you guys: did you know the University of New Mexico was founded in 1892? They have 14 conference titles. And I don't know if you know this, Barbo, or if you remember this, but Brian Urlacher came from UNM. That's pretty cool. Did you know that?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah, I knew
Awesome.
that.
Did you know? Did you know New Mexico State founded in 1893? They have full 5 bowl victories. That's huge, and they've beat 7 Power 5 teams since 2011. Tim, I remember on Monday we talked about this just a little bit, and I just dropped a clip of you chatting about that rivalry just a little bit, not calling it a rivalry actually. I did look up, not to kind of put you on the spot here, but I looked up the last 10 meetings, and it looks like we're at 5-5 for the last 10 meetings. UNM having the last one, 5-5. So we're battling for the tiebreaker. Like this is pretty huge, and it seems like both teams typically have a shootout. So this is like a high power matchup here. What's your thoughts going into like this? This feels big. Like this is the tiebreaker from the last 10 games. We're sitting at 5-5. UNM, NMSU squaring up face to face against each other this weekend. What's the expectations here?
Well, I mean, if you look at the Vegas odds, they have UNM as 14-point favorites. I don't know if I like that spread too much. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. It's anything can happen in a rivalry game like this. You have a lot of fans, a lot of households are split. Some of them went to New Mexico State, some of them went to UNM. The good thing that UNM has going for them is that it is at home, so it'll be here in Albuquerque this weekend. It'll be the second home game of the new coaching staff. They have a new tailgating system over there. They're really setting it up for a really huge game. There's only like as of yesterday, excuse me, there's only like 200 student tickets left. They're selling tickets at a rapid rate. They're trying to really sell out the stadium and make it a pretty big atmosphere. Regardless what happens, it's going to be big a big atmosphere in the first two quarters. Whenever you hit that halftime, is a lot of the times, a lot of the tailgaters are a little bit um, overwhelmed, a little bit tired from drinking all day, and they're trying to see what's going on after the game. And typically, it's not. It's either a one-sided game during that halftime.
Gotcha.
So hopefully, we see a very close game. That's what everybody wants to see. Everyone wants to see a good football game. But of course, UNM is going to come out on top. I just don't know if I see them beating New Mexico State by more than 14 points. But I do see them winning the game.
Did you experience this rivalry only as a player, or did you go before or after as a fan?
Yeah, so I think it was either last year or the year before. Me and my fiance went to go watch. It was one of those games that we showed up like half an hour before the game, and we didn't even do any tailgating. We went straight to get in line to get in the stadium, and we didn't get in the stadium until the second quarter.
What?
It's
Okay.
like you just see there's that many people that show up to this game. A lot of people don't even make it into the stadium. They're just outside tailgating the whole time. UNM tailgates are fun to go to, especially during New Mexico State week. If you're planning on going, I would say get there a few hours before the game. Really enjoy it, and you're going to be in lines going into the stadium regardless which way you go. It's going to be pretty close to capacity, and it's a great environment to watch. It's obviously as a player you would rather be standing on the sideline being a part of it, but it's going to be really fun to watch. If you guys are planning on just watching through the TV, it'll still be fun. But I would encourage you guys to try to make that trip to Albuquerque and go to that game.
That sounds exciting. Do you hear the noise as a player? Do you hear the noise from the fans? And if you did, what's something that kind of stands out to you?
The thing is, you don't even really need to hear it from the fans. I mean, you have coaches all week, especially if you're from New Mexico. You already know what this game is about. I remember my freshman year. Coach Loxley had they were playing the New Mexico State fight song in the locker room for 24 hours straight for that entire week. So anytime you were in the locker room changing, getting ready for practice, you'd hear that New Mexico State fight song, and their reasoning behind that is because every time a school scores, they'll play their fight song, and they're like, I want you to be so tired of that fight song that you don't want to hear it at all on Saturday." And so there's little things like that coaching staff will keep in your head that you don't even have to think about it because it's already there. They're already reminding you of how big of an implication this is. A lot of people don't realize that this is one of like the earlier games in the season in the country that determine a bowl game. So with the New Mexico Bowl, um, the winner of the New Mexico State UNM game, if both teams are bowl eligible, the winner of that game is going to get the invitation first to go play in that bowl game. That's just the way the rules are set up. So this game has more implications than just rivalry. It has, if both of you are eligible for a bowl game, you want to play in the New Mexico Bowl. You want to have that fan base here to be able to come watch you play. So it's more than just a rivalry game in that aspect.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're on the line.
you actually playing in the game. What I mean, what's one moment that you remember from one of the games you guys played in?
Yeah, I think obviously it's going to be that my true freshman year in 2011. That one sticks out to me the most because I was a true freshman walk on at UNM, and Loxley got fired after week 3. Going into the Mexico State game, the interim head coach kind of came up to me and was like, "Hey, we need you to return punts for us, and would you be interested in coming out of your red shirt?" So that was my first game actually being a starter, and that's something I'll never forget. And unfortunately, we did lose that game, but I'm always going to remember that feeling of being able to go out there, represent your family and the state of New Mexico in a really big game. And then the last time I played them, obviously, is a really big memory to me because we won 66-17. It wasn't really much of a football game. We weren't that great of a football team, but we were obviously better than the Aggies, and that's all that matters.
Had a baby. Had a baby. Hey, your brother went to New Mexico State, right? Josh Foley?
He did. He actually went to both. He was at New
Oh.
Mexico State for the majority of his career, and then in 2020 he transferred to UNM, and then he ended up finishing his college career at UNM.
So,
So
so
he
what
is a
is
Lobo.
what is he doing this weekend? Is he barking? Roof roof, or are we
No,
chum
no,
chum?
he's more of an Aggie at heart, but I always give him shit, letting him know that he's still a Lobo because he did wear that cherry and silver at one point.
Oh, so he's just sitting at the table confused. He's just roof roof, chum chum. What you want, Borba? Which one?
Dude, yeah.
Shout- Yo, shout out Josh Foley. That's what's up. Hey Tim. Well, I think JB, are you on UNM here?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I walked their campus at one point, so I guess you can say I'm an alum. I'm a friend of an alum, so that makes me
No, I've been
part
to
of
the
it,
campus
right?
before. We're the alums. Yeah, we've touched grass over there, so we're part of the
Yeah,
community.
another group of brothers that played for both schools is David Anaya and man, his name's
Desmond.
not coming to me right now.
Desmond.
Desmond Anaya at New Mexico State, and they got to play each other, so that's cool. Maybe we'll reach out to him and see what his experience was like playing against his brother. You didn't get to play against your brother, right? Because he's
No,
probably like 5 6 years younger than you.
yeah, he's 6 years younger than me.
Dang, that would have been cool. I really wonder what that experience would be like of playing against your brother. And then they were on opposite sides of the field too. So I wonder if Desmond ever got a good lick on David there because David was the running back, right? But
Yeah.
Tim, your power rankings last week. It looks like they changed just a little bit. It looks like Mr. Carson Beck is making some noise, enough noise to get him to number 3. Let's go ahead and chat about that just a little here.
Yeah, so I have Ohio State and Penn State, obviously 1 and 2. Not much has changed there. These power rankings right now look the way they are. After this week, they could change up a whole lot because we have Penn State playing Oregon this week, and then Miami has a bye week this week, and then number 4 Georgia plays Alabama as well too. So there's a lot of really good games that's going on this week. But I see Oregon and Penn State; those will move a little bit depending on how the game goes. And same with the Georgia Alabama game. Miami, with having a bye week, I don't think that necessarily gives them a pass. So if there's some good games this week, I can see Miami dropping down to even 5, if not out of the top 5, um, from my picks this next week.
Yeah. Who do you got in that Oregon game? I know Oregon looks pretty good. They got a couple surprise stars. Who do you got in that game?
I'm taking Oregon. They're 3.5 point dogs. I don't know if they're necessarily going to win the game. I think if they lose, it'll be by a low margin. I think that's why I'm taking Oregon at that 3.5. I do want to see Oregon win this game. Penn State hasn't really showed us much because they haven't really played anybody. They don't have a huge explosive offense right now, but they could also be saving it all for this week. Same with Oregon. Oregon has blown out a lot of people, but they haven't really played anybody worth any substance. So that's one of the games that's for sure going to be front and center that I'll be watching this weekend because there's way too many playoff implications. Same with the Georgia Alabama game. No matter how low Alabama is in the rankings, that game is always going to be a great game to watch, and I think I have Georgia winning that one as well.
Is it though? Alabama seems like their trajectory is going.
That
A lot of
is,
question
and
marks about the way that locker room is being ran. It seems like zero discipline. At least that's what the college football talking heads are telling us. Uh, Diego Pavia seems like they've made the rankings this week. What's their expectation for this weekend?
this weekend, I see them coming out and doing what they need to do and winning this football game. I love seeing them in the top 25. They're doing a really good job. Diego Pavia is really making the headlines and really pushing this team forward. he's like I said a couple weeks ago, he's a gamer, and he's even shown that he's talked about that to these NFL scouts. He said that he talked with a few NFL scouts these last couple weeks, and then everyone asked him, "Why'd you come back to Vanderbilt? And you got that extra year. You could have pretty much gone anywhere in the country at this point." And he said, "I want to win here because I want to show scouts and people that if you want to win a Super Bowl, if you want me at that next level, I'm a winner, and you're going to watch me do it here in Vanderbilt," which they haven't been relevant before Diego Pavia for decades. So in order
Yeah.
for him to be able to bring them into that spotlight as a local Albuquerque kid and really do his thing as the game manager, and you can tell he's a leader of that football team. Everyone looks at him in the huddle to see what their next steps are going to be, and I see them to continue to do that. The problem is like weeks moving forward from this, they have a very tough schedule. So as
Oh,
long as
yeah,
they
they
can
do.
yeah, so as long as they can steal 3 or 4 of those games in these coming weeks, I can see them really being a contender, but it's just gonna have to go week by week, and hopefully they're able to keep everyone healthy.
So I guess we shouldn't get too excited. This weekend they got Utah State. We're gonna assume that's a W. 10:45 a.m. kickoff. Ooh, that seems a little rough. But after that, next week, that's when it gets real. And we just talked about Alabama, but they're still ranked at number 17. But they head over to Tuscaloosa to play against Alabama, and then they turn around and play the LSU Tigers, who are ranked number 4 in the league right now. And then they go play Missouri and then Texas. Yeah, they got a little SEC schedule going on here. I mean, that's what we expect from the SEC, right? Just a bunch of dogs scrapping it out. You in the SEC, it seems like you can at least lose 1 or 2 games with the new playoff format and still somewhat sneak in. I do look forward to continue to follow Diego Pavia and see how he makes it out of this this tough next couple games. Hey Tim, your locks for the week. Last week's locks, so golden. We had Iowa and Miami Hurricanes covering. I took your advice. I took your bets, but I'm an idiot, and I attached the Cowboys to it. I looked at my ticket again. I still haven't thrown my ticket. It's just sitting in my wallet, just to remind myself. Let's not do this again. That's all right. That's literally why I'm keeping it. But your two locks cashed last week. If you could just tell us what you got this week.
Yeah, so for my locks, I have Indiana 7.5. Um, they're playing Iowa, so I know I had Iowa as a lock last week, but Indiana is just a phenomenal football team. You watch them beat a top 10 team in Illinois this last week and absolutely murder them. I mean, they won 63-10, and
Built to
they
ass.
beat a top 10 team so bad that now they're starting to negate Indiana that win. They're saying that, oh, Illinois isn't that great of a team, and they beat them up pretty good. They were a top 10 team before that game, and in Indiana is they're really turning heads with the quarterback. His name is Fernando Mendoza. I know when you hear that name, if you hear his name
Okay.
and then look at his picture, you do not see the same person.
Not a
But
Mexican.
he is not. He is not. No, especially when you hear him talk. Um, but and then I also have my luck as
So what is
Oregon.
it?
You would seem with that name, you would think he's a Mexican, but he looks like a white guy to me. But I don't see that. I see him as a quarterback, you know what I mean? And I see him quarterbacking.
Damn, I thought we had a guy
Wait,
too.
correct.
I thought his brothers had a guy. I
That's
see.
what I know whenever I texted you that, I was like, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, there's a Mexican quarterback." I was like, "Pump your brakes.
Yeah, we
It's
got a
not
guy.
a
We got a guy.
Mexican." He
I was about to
he's
give
not
up.
Diego
Come on.
Pavia.
Yeah.
And
That's Diego,
he's
let's
actually
go, baby.
leading. Yeah, and Fernando Mendoza is actually leading the Heisman odds right now, which I'm sure we'll get into. But yeah, and then you guys can look at that parlay. There's quite a few teams I have going on for that parlay. Hopefully they'll hit. Parlays are pretty hard nowadays.
Yeah, no, they're the toughest. I thought I had a lock last week, and it was only a 3-team parlay. Oh, what a dagger! What a dagger, Tim! I did not get the graphic for your Heisman leaders here, but if you don't mind, just off the top of your head, who do we got here at
Yeah.
top three?
Yeah, so I got Carson Beck at one. He didn't have a great
Okay.
Heisman game this last week. He didn't really put up the Heisman numbers, but it was a huge in-state game against Florida. They got the win. They have a bye this week to kind of regroup and everything in order to play their huge game next week against Florida State. Um, this next week is going to be huge for them because if they get through that, I don't see them losing a game for the rest of the season, just the way that their schedule is set up, barring injury or anything like that. And that's the reason I see him at number one. He's a great quarterback. He's putting up good numbers. Even though he didn't have that great of a game this last week, they still got the win. And I see them, if they get through next week, being an undefeated team, which means a lot for the Heisman running. Number two, this is kind of an asterisk next to it, is John Mateer. Yep. And then number two, I had John Mateer. He's the quarterback at Oklahoma. There's kind of an asterisk next to this because he's actually undergoing surgery this week. He broke a bone in his throwing hand during the first quarter of the game this last week at Auburn, which they still got the win, which is absolutely crazy. That's the type of guy that you want leading your locker room and your huddle, still on a throwing broken hand on his throwing arm, still going out and getting you a big win against Auburn. A lot of people were looking at that game because the Auburn quarterback was actually at Oklahoma last year. He left, went to Auburn, and then they had him at Oklahoma. And they gave him hell. It was a really good game. You saw John Mateer really grind it out, and he, because of that performance, he was the leading odds in the Heisman. Unfortunately, after they announced that he's going to have to undergo surgery and be out for a few weeks, he did drop because that is detrimental in the Heisman race. They really want you playing in all those games, being an impact. So there is an asterisk next to that one. And then number three, I have Fernando Mendoza, who we talked about, who's actually the odds favorite to winning the Heisman as of this week. He's the quarterback at Indiana. He has a 76.8 completion percentage. He's thrown for 975 yards, 14 touchdowns, and no interceptions so far this year. He also Indiana leads the country in total yards and in points. They're averaging 54.8 points a game. And then, as we talked about earlier, they smacked the top 10 team in Illinois 63-10. And then they play Iowa this week, which I see them winning by, I see them covering that 7.5 point spread.
Well, and if anybody's curious, Fernando Mendoza is not Mexican. He was born in Miami, Florida, and is a grandson of Cuban immigrants. So the brother is Cuban. Cuban. Well, looks like Diego's our guy still. Let's go, Diego Pavia. Tim, I appreciate you joining the show, man. I look forward to that UNM NMSU game. I don't know that I watch very often. I don't know. I honestly don't tune in too much, but I am now in support of you, my brother. I appreciate you joining the show. Everybody,
Appreciate
Tim
you guys.
Foley. What a rivalry.
Yeah.
Find out. Have you been to a tailgate before?
Not in like UNM, but like we've kind of tailgated at did we tailgate in Dallas one time?
Oh, that was for NMSU once.
Oh, we tailgated for NMSU.
We did.
Did we?
We did. We didn't. We just didn't go to the game.
Yeah.
Didn't quite go to the game.
I don't remember that
Yep.
part.
What a time. What a
There's a
time.
lot I don't
I think
remember.
that's part of it. Low key, slightly disappointed that Fernando Mendoza is not a Mexican. Just a little sad. But JB, to move over to the NFL, it looks like Myles Garrett put on a show, right, against the Green Bay Packers. I thought this funny clip that came out. I thought you'd want to see it real quick. It's about Myles Garrett chasing Jordan Love down and people screaming, "Run, run, 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 run!" Let's see what it says.
Bro, I beat him on the cleanest inside last series. Jordan! Jordan, run! That was the tackle saying? Yes.
Yeah, that is crazy, bro. These clips
was
that come
running.
from behind the scenes are the funniest shit ever. I love it. The NFL needs to keep putting out those clips.
Yeah.
My wife, the way my wife keeps up with this stuff is all those behind the scene clips, which is kind of funny because she'll know like little tidbits of stuff that happened on the sideline, but knows absolutely nothing about what happened in the game. So sometimes every now and then she'll make me just a little bit smarter in that. I guess you would say gossip. Nah, it's not a gossip world, but gossip world in our world, in the sports world. But what do you think about Myles Garrett thinking that's funny?
Hey man, that's a good clip. I mean, who said it last week? Or it was a Sunday night game. It was a Sunday night game, Falcons and Vikings, and who the heck are the commentators Sunday night? Is that Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth? I don't think so. That's Monday
Yeah,
night.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Is
That's
it?
Sunday night.
Okay,
Monday night is Troy and Joe
like
Buck,
yeah,
the
like
goat.
there was a clip where one of the offensive linemen, well, it wasn't a clip, but there was a play where one of the offensive, it was a false start, and the D lineman, you can hear him on the hot mic just like cracking him up, like just making jokes out of it. Like he said something like, "Ooh, hoo, hoo, he offside, throw the flag." Like the defensive lineman, I think this is true in like so many such a sense. Like the defensive linemen are usually the funniest dudes on the team. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
what
I don't know,
yeah,
something
that's what
about
they
those
say.
dudes.
They say O-line, D-line. That
Yeah,
those are the
man.
2 funniest characters.
Yeah,
Which
so I don't doubt that at all. So I don't doubt that at all. So a lot of good characters. Those guys have to be a little bit crazy, to play that position. Just hit each other every play.
smash
Those are the
man.
one players that hit each other every single play.
Just
They're just
boom,
yeah,
huh, boom, huh,
every play.
boom. Just a car accident every second of the game.
That's
A
how you
car
know
accident.
they're just not all there. Yeah.
Yes, a couple loose screws. I love it though. I love it. Some of my favorite players. JB. So going into this Sunday night football game, they asked Jerry Jones if he is going to have a tribute for Micah Parsons, and Jerry Jones says the Cowboys will not. What do you think?
No.
Do you think that's disrespectful, or do you
No, not
think
at all.
Jerry
What has he
Jones
done?
is doing the right thing?
What has he done? What has Micah Parsons honestly done to make Dallas any better in any way? Why is he throwing a
Any better
tribute?
anyway?
That's crazy. That is if he had a Hall of Fame career, 12 plus years in Dallas, okay. But no, this guy
Not
is
five. 5
no
years ain't enough. Just a
crazy.
couple all pros. Couple all pros.
No,
No, a couple, maybe 2 top 5 defensive seasons.
no.
No,
Absolutely
I'm in
not. That's
agreement
one
with
thing
you.
I
I don't.
100% agree with Jerry Jones. I 100% agree with that. Dude's done nothing. For your guys' history to honor a guy like Michael Parsons, that's almost like a slap in the face to all the other guys that you have honored in the past that have actually made a difference for the organization. This guy had what, 4 good years in Dallas, got some sacks. I mean, that's what did he do? He didn't give you guys a playoff win.
There you go. That would be
Come on now.
Dakota Prescott who got us one. That would be Dakota Prescott. That's who you would give a tribute to if one was required. But I'm with Jerry Jones on this. For what? For what? We're getting too soft. We're getting
Wait.
too soft. If people think that you should get a tribute just because you had a couple good seasons on a team, you are an idiot, my friend. An idiot. We can't get in this world where we're just so soft. You know when Luca had one, when they traded him and they brought back Luca, I just thought that was the softest, corniest shit you could see from an organization.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You didn't want him. You traded him. Now you're trying to be. Now you're just trying to feed to the narrative of the mistake that you made. So you're trying to be nice and give back because he gave to you. Which shout out. I'm sure Micah did a bunch of stuff in the community. That's cool. He's gonna run into those people, and those people should have a sign outside their business saying "Thank you, Micah." But as far as the Dallas Cowboys organization, they don't owe him anything. They've already paid this man. They paid him what he was owed. They paid him what he signed up for. So good luck to Micah. And yeah, I hope he stinks. I hope he stinks. I at least hope he stinks this weekend. We're gonna have Earl E. Rob on the show tomorrow to talk about the Packers Cowboys Sunday night football matchup. Oh, I'm nervous, brother. I'm nervous. I'm at that stage right now. I'm at that stage right now where it's really hard to find any positives going into Sunday for me. I'm a little sad. Um, I there's a hoodie that was left at one of our shows one time, and our friend never came and got it. And I reached out and asked him to pick it up or if I could drop it off, but he never got it. So I have a Vikings hoodie, right? And I like for the sake of our show, I feel like that's who I got to root for. Like one of our teams have to play good or else this is going to be a very very depressing show. I can't come up here every week, Borba, and do what I did on Monday. I
That's
can't.
hard.
We can't just have therapy session after therapy session. Like at some point, we got to have some type of happiness. And I tried it in week 2 and I had a good time. But I don't feel like I'm going to be up there very often this year. Like it feels like a downfall. I mean, CD Lamb's hurt, Tyler Booker's hurt, and then our center BB's hurt. And now we're gonna play against a pass rusher that knows us like the back of his hand. Like the guy came out and said, "Me against Dak Prescott, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, Borba." And I feel it. I feel the pain that Dak Prescott might feel this Sunday night. And you want to know what, Borba? I just pray for Dak. I pray for that brother, for the situation that they've put him in. I pray for his success, Borba. Now, as you should too, as all of you guys should. And there's some people out there that may be wishing bad on Dak, and for whatever reason, I don't know where the hate comes from on Dak. Dak is a very good quarterback. Now, if you start saying great, I see where people start getting defensive, but you can't compare him to that. You got to be a realist. The guy's a good quarterback. He's going to win you games. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a good defense, does it matter, Borba? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Do you hate Dak?
Do I hate Dak?
Yeah.
No. He's an above average quarterback. He's literally I say it all the time. He's Kirk Cousins 2.0. Puts up good season stats when Kirk Cousins, obviously when he was with the Vikings and all that, but puts up good stats. Can sling the ball. Gets his receivers a lot of targets, a lot of catches, a lot of touchdowns. Makes everyone look good, right?
You called my
And we
quarterback a
just
fugazi.
we just don't have the postseason success to back it up, unfortunately.
What a shame. What a
It is
shame.
what
The
it is.
disrespect on my guy. We got to stop this. I'm tired of this already, boy, but I'm going to lose it. We got to stop the disrespect on my boy. And this guy had just came off an MVP season 2 years ago, Borba. And now everybody's saying he's washed. What is going on? You send
Kirk
him to
Cousins
any
was
other
on the
team right
MVP
now, and he's
season
probably
a
going to
couple
win.
times
You
too.
you send Buddy to San Francisco, that becomes a Super Bowl contender. You send that guy over to Cincinnati, probably becomes a Super Bowl contender.
Whoa,
No,
whoa, whoa! What do you where are we putting Joe Burrow at? We're
I don't know.
putting
I saw a lot of chat on X. They were saying trade Joe Burrow, trade him. Guy
that'd
gets
be the
hurt.
best
Guy
thing to
can't
do.
stay healthy.
Another franchise can keep him upright. That might be the best thing to do. And then look what happens when Dak goes over there. Dak's going to be hurt 24/7, so it doesn't matter. Right now, they have bigger problems than the quarterback trading, having an injury prone quarterback. No, you could say Dak's injury prone too. He's missed what, 2 full seasons almost. You could say the same thing. Is you got to
Yeah,
protect your quarterback. At the end of the day, you got to protect your quarterback. And Joe Burrow, um, we've seen what with a healthy Joe Burrow, and he could have done it this year too. But you're taking way too many hits right now. Like you got five. Nate Reyes is on the offensive line right now. I mean, can you find one? You need. I actually give me five Nate Reyes on the O line, dude. They're probably better than what they got in Cincinnati right now. You know what? That was a shot at
Yep.
Nate, but I think
That
Nate.
wasn't a shot at
If
Nate.
we had,
That wasn't.
if
I
we have,
wouldn't say
if
Nate would take
Cincinnati
that
has
as
five
respect.
Nates, if Cincinnati has five Nates, dude, they're protecting Joe Burrow. Like, get anyone else out there right now. This is blasphemy. It's awful. It's a clown show. And what the heck, dude? The poor stay poor, I guess. Poverty
Yep.
franchise,
Hashtag
Cincinnati. They gotta fix those things, man, before they
hashtag
label Joe Burrow
save
injury prone.
save Joe Burrow. Hashtag save Joe Burrow. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, save Joe.
Well, JB, let's send these beautiful people off to work, guys. I appreciate you guys joining us. Shout out our boy Nate, who took a little bit of a shot there, but one of our top followers, Nate. I love you, brother. Thank you for always tuning in. Mike Nunez, appreciate you, Santi. Tim Foley, appreciate you coming on the show, letting us know what your experience was with UNM and then the NMSU rivalry that we will be tuning into this weekend. And all of you guys traveling out there, drive safe, be safe, and don't forget, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. I love you guys.